Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at Nvidia's botched launch of the GTX 1650, and that's mostly because they apparently have no good PR people over there at Nvidia. At least it doesn't seem like they do right now. More on that in just a minute. We also have a Ryzen mobile processor in a laptop setting being paired with a 1660 Ti from Nvidia. So we actually have a budget CPU option that doesn't use Intel being paired with Nvidia goodness on the mobile platform. That's great for gamers. Because it should be a little bit cheaper than most gaming laptops that would feature similar specs. And then of course we do have Anthem news back again. If you missed it, Anthem has been a little bit disappointing for people that were looking forward to that game, and it's in the news for all the wrong reasons. Let's get to it. So the GTX 1650 launched today from Nvidia, and there were problems from the get-go. Most notably, that reviewers could not get out their reviews for these actual GPUs because they didn't have drivers available, even though Nvidia was now taking orders this morning for the card. Now, fortunately, there are some really quick reviewers out there that were really putting in some hours today. Most notably, Gamers Nexus did a nice in-depth review of the 1650. And I'll go ahead and link that down below, as well as this Tom's Hardware article down below. But basically, Nvidia opened up orders for the 1650 without consumers having any access whatsoever to performance numbers, which is obviously not going to help people make an informed decision. Now, Nvidia claims that the drivers were withheld from reviewers for, and this is a quote from Gamers Nexus, unification reasons, but the conspiracy theories are already starting to fly around that Nvidia was sort of trying to cover something up. Most notably, at least if you watch again that Gamers Nexus review, it looks like an RX 570, which is also cheaper. You can get them brand new from ASRock for as cheap as $130 right now on Newegg. So the RX 570 is cheaper and it outperforms the 1650 in most titles. In fact, the vast majority of all titles will run better on a 570. At that point, the only advantage that you can really see from the 1650 is that it uses less power, and depending on what SKU you're getting from, depending on what company you're getting them from, you can get the 1650 without the need of an additional PCIe power plug from your power supply. So it does open up the possibility of being just put into pre-built systems that may not have those plugs appropriately coming off of the power supply that support add-in cards like that. But for the most part, if you have the option whatsoever, go with the RX 570. It's cheaper and just looks like it performs better. In further Nvidia news, we have the 1660 Ti graphics card now being put into laptops, and Asus jumped on that bandwagon really quickly with the Zephyrus line, but they're mixing it up a little bit by pairing it in some cases with a Ryzen 8750H, which is a quad-core 8-threaded processor from AMD. So we're actually going to be seeing an AMD processor with a really solid graphics card from Nvidia. So we should get the best of both worlds here. We should get a little bit of the budget from AMD. We should save some money on the CPU side of things and then get the great graphics performance that Nvidia definitely has the edge over AMD, especially it seems in the mobile market. Nvidia is just sort of the default there. So it's nice to see AMD CPUs actually getting some Nvidia love there, at least from Asus. They're obviously not getting it from Nvidia themselves. And in kick them while they're down news, Anthem is getting another sort of gut punch from their developers, announcing today that we will not see most or even possibly all of the April features that we were supposed to see for the Anthem game. If you haven't been following Anthem since it launched, it's been a bit of a train wreck, whereas at least for EA, Apex Legends has really taken off, but Anthem has been a train wreck. Developmentally, it looked like it launched pretty much half-baked, and ever since then, the developers have just been struggling to keep up and make the game any kind of relevant, and it looks like this is just one more blow to Anthem that I'm not really sure BioWare can keep taking. So the features that were promised for April on the original roadmap are now off the table for April, and we don't actually have a date that we can expect those. So if you're an Anthem player, hopefully these features do come eventually, but there are definitely no guarantees. As always, there are links down below that are relevant to the sources that we used for this video, and of course there's a couple product links down there as well, but we do want to hear from you guys out there. What do you think about any of these news items, especially the Ryzen being paired with Nvidia graphics on a laptop setting? And more importantly, at least in my books, I really think this is like a horrible thing from Nvidia. What do you think about the 1650 launch? Is Nvidia hiding something? Were they trying to hide the fact that the RX 570 is going to be beating the 1650 in most titles? Or could this have just been an honest mess up by Nvidia? Maybe they didn't really think about the repercussions on the PR front. Let me know your thoughts down below. And of course, if you like the video, give it a like, share, subscribe, comment. All those things are helpful to the channel. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Hoosier Hardware. And as always, I'll let YouTube queue up a couple more videos from my channel for you to watch. I'm Shane with Hoosier Hardware, and I'll see you guys in the next video.